I will be posting this workshop to the Facebook group, obviously, because there are a few people who couldn't make the live. So if you are watching the replay, feel free to comment on the video, because I will always go through the comments and have a look and answer any questions that you have, or yeah, basically if you have any questions or any comments throughout the workshop, I will be looking at that as well. Okay, admit. So yeah, that is about all the admin that I have for you. I am now going to share my screen with you. So you guys are just going to have to bear with me and tell me if it is working as well, because this technology thing is not my forte at the best of times. Okay, I just want to make sure, and I hope that when I share my screen, I can still admit people into the meeting room. Okay, so just let me know if you guys can see the presentation. I'm just trying to figure out how I can see the chat box while I'm presenting to you guys, because this might become a problem. Sorry guys. Okay, there we go. I can see the chat. Okay, I feel like I'm sorting out my life's issues here with you guys being very patient. Thank you. Okay, all clear, all can see. Okay, amazing. So your chakras. So before I dive in, the chakras is such an amazing, like, age-old system within ourselves that I think has been deeply neglected in our more modern Western lives. And as we go through the workshop, I think you'll start to pick up how imperative it is that we start to reconnect with our chakra energy systems, because it really does add so much value into our lives, and it basically governs every single aspect of our lives. So if we can connect with our chakras, figure out which ones are unbalanced or blocked, and really just get our chakra energy system to be more in flow and in alignment and like in harmony, everything else falls into place so beautifully. So I'm super excited to be sharing this workshop with you, because we all need to learn a little bit more about our chakras. Okay. One more second, I want to see if I can full screen this, and then obviously when I full screen, let me know if you guys can still see. Okay, 1 second. Just trying to figure out how we do full screen here as well. I'm like, I need a virtual assistant here. Okay, hopefully this helps. Although, do you know what? I know there's going to be an issue when I actually try to see the chat box. So I'm just going to, sorry guys, I'm blind, so I need it to be as big as possible. Okay, so let me just cover what we will be going through today. I'm going to explain to you guys a little bit more about what your chakra energy system is, your energy system and your subtle bodies. I will touch on that. Like I said, there's so much information, so I've tried to really condense what I feel is important for you guys to know. Then I will be going into the function and the purpose of your chakras, and then touching on something that I found very interesting, which is your human development cycles and how it relates to our chakra system. Then I'll be diving into how blockages develop into your chakras. And then obviously I'll go through each chakra in itself, explaining what it is, where it's located, what it governs, how to pick up blockages, how to see if it's balanced or unbalanced, and then a few tips and tricks on how to balance them. And then at the end, and then tips, okay, I've covered everything, sorry guys. Okay, next slide. Okay, so before we start, there were 4 questions that I really want you to ask yourself, because I feel like because we're so detached from our natural energy system, we tend to lose sight of the things that are most important. So I'm hoping that if you don't know the answers now, by the end of the workshop, you will. Because like I said, the chakra system really governs every single aspect of our life, and it really brings us back into our deep inner authentic self, our connection with ourselves, our connection with Mother Nature and the universe around us, and Source, God, whatever you believe in. So the questions are, who am I? And this is not just like, I'm Roxy Carstens as mindset and spirituality coach. It goes deeper than that. then which powers work through me? So, I mean, I don't know where you all are on your journey, but I feel like the more you tap into your spiritual side, the more you start to realize that there's more than just the physical and like rational part of life. There is more divineness and connection and cosmic joy in this universe that we are also disconnected from. So by the end of this, hopefully you'll have more answers for which powers work through me. Then what are the capabilities still being hidden in my innermost being? And these will show and probably start to pop up for you as you go through each chakra. Let me tell you one thing, guys. My speaking is the worst at the best of times, which is hilarious because it's my job and I have a podcast. But if you listen to my podcast as well, you'll know that I like to stumble over my words a lot. Okay, then the last question is, how can I realize my full potential for happiness and creativity? So those are just 4 questions I really want you to ponder on now, and also then maybe at the end of the workshop. Before we dive in, actually, I would highly recommend that if you guys do have a pen and paper, keep it with you, because if anything resonates or really stands out, I always find it so effective taking notes, because it's something you can refer to later and do some more work on if it is something that stands out to you. Alrighty. So what exactly is the chakra system? Now, there are a million definitions that you can look up and go look at, but I tried to put it all in this condensed little paragraph. Yeah. So basically, chakra means wheel in Sanskrit, and Sanskrit is like the language of the it's like the language, I don't want to say the Indian people because it is more than that, but it's the language that they used to write all the ancient scripts in, all the ancient knowledge. So basically, chakra means wheel, like I said, and it refers to the energy points in your body. Now, these wheels are spinning discs of energy that should stay open, but obviously because we're so disconnected from so many things in this modern patriarchy world, that they tend to get blocked. And these energy systems also each correspond to bundles of nerves, major organs, and all areas of our energetic body that affect our emotional, our mental, our physical, and our spiritual well-being. So it's super, super important to make sure that we try to get all of our chakras unblocked, flowing, and harmonious, so that every aspect of our life will be in harmony and have a greater sense of well-being. Now, this invisible healing energy, which runs throughout our chakras, is a vital life force, which keeps us vibrant, healthy, and alive. So obviously we would want more of this, because the more in alignment we are, the more vibrant, healthy, and alive we start to feel. Now, chakras store the energy of our thoughts, our feelings, our memories, our experiences, and our actions. They influence and direct our present and future mindset, behavior, emotional health, and action. So you can see how having unbalanced or blocked chakras can really affect us going down the line, and how everything that we experience in our lives can affect our chakras in that moment as well. So it's so important to be more aware of these things, because it really affects us on every level. Okay, now connecting more with our chakras allows us to understand how our past is influencing the present and the future. And this is with anything. I mean, even the work I do, our past influences everything. Our mindsets, it creates limiting beliefs, it creates fear, it creates opinions, biased judgments, all of those things. So I just want to light my incense. I forgot to light my incense. Okay. Each of these 7 main chakras have a corresponding number, name, color, specific area of the spine, from the sacrum to the crown of the head, and a health focus. So I really have tried to cover all of these little aspects per chakra. But like I said, it goes so deep, I cannot cover everything. We'll have to be up for like seven weeks. Okay, so I want to talk a bit about understanding the chakras, because I think there are a lot of misconceptions when it comes to chakras. So the first thing is that you do not need to possess any clairvoyant gifts or powers in order to connect with your chakras. But you will notice that when you start to connect with your chakras, your understanding and your sensitivity to these subtle levels will start to increase on a remarkable level. Then we are more than just the material and physical plane. I mentioned this before we started the workshop, but in this modern world where like everything's about your social status and how you're perceived by other people, we've lost connection with everything that is not physical and material. So with chakras, it's going to be a bit woo-woo, especially when you move up from the heart chakra upwards. But just have an open mind and realize that there is more than just what you can see, feel, touch, taste, and smell. There's the divine realm, there's connection with source. And also remember that we are all one, we are all connected. So tapping into that is so, so powerful. Then the system of energy comprises of 3 basic components. One is the subtle bodies or energy bodies. 2 are the chakras, which is obviously what we're talking about today. And then the nadis or energy channels. And I'm going to quickly go through what these are because it's also quite complex to try to wrap your mind around what each of these are. But basically the nadis, I like to think of them as like your veins and your arteries that run throughout your body. They basically transport your vital force energy throughout the body into your chakras, out of your chakras, and all around. Then your chakras, which we will talk about today, obviously, act as receivers, transformers, and distributors of various forms of energy. Now, we take in energy via our subtle bodies, which I was actually going to go a little bit more into, but I just thought it'd be a way too overwhelming for you guys. So I've taken that module out, but I'll touch on them quickly after this. So we take in energy via our subtle bodies, our surroundings, our cosmos, and we transform them into frequencies needed by the various chakras for development. So the subtle bodies, our bodies basically, besides our physical body, there's like auras that come out. I don't know if you guys have heard of auras, but it's basically like the energy that surrounds your body. And we have 4 layers that like surround us outside of our physical body. So first is the ethereal body, and this basically connects your physical body with the outer realms. The emotional or your astral body, which is where all of your emotions are experienced and what's the word? Sorry, guys. Stored. I'm not trying to think of the word stored. And then you have your mental body, which is where all of your thoughts and stuff really like originate and are stored as well. And then the spiritual or causative body, which connects you to the divine, the cosmos, the universe, source, God, whatever you want to call it. Guys, just send me a little message in the chat box to make sure that everything's going fine, because everyone's gone real quiet. Okay, yeah, okay, thanks, Nods. Okay, so the function and the purpose of the chakras, there are so many functions of your chakras, which I will also dive into as we look at each one individually, but there are 7 primary chakras. I think there are something like 88,000 chakra systems within our bodies, but there are 7 main ones. Let's not pretend that we could ever learn 88,000 chakra systems and understand what they all are. So obviously that's why for sanity and a much better understanding of how our chakra systems work, there are 7 main ones that affect like the most pertinent parts of our life. Okay, so these are the most important and fundamental aspects of the human body, mind, and soul. The function of the chakras is to spin and join energy to keep the spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical health of the body in balance. They are always in a state of rotation, which attracts energy and draws it in or gives it off. I'll go more into this a bit later, depending on the direction of the rotation. Now, I don't know if any of you guys joined my masculine and feminine energies workshop, but if you did, you'll maybe have a better understanding or better ground to understand the rotations, because it all boils down to masculine and feminine energies. So every clockwise rotation is primarily male or yang. I don't know if you guys know the yin-yang symbol, the Chinese symbol that just shows balance. And every counterclockwise rotation is female or yin in nature. Now, the direction in which your chakras rotate varies from chakra to chakra, and obviously it depends on your sex as well. I'll show you on the next slide. Then the two most important forms of energy enter through our root chakra, which is the one at the bottom of your spine, and our crown chakra, which is the one on top of your head. So the more conscious a person is, the more active and open your chakras will be. Kundalini, which is referred to as like the energy that rises through your chakras. It's also depicted as a snake. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Kundalini yoga or Kundalini rising. This is all about the energy that rises up throughout our chakra systems. So Kundalini rises through the root and upwards, which activates and strengthens our chakras, whereas divine being enters through the crown and really helps with dissolving blockages within the chakras. So I just put together, I found these two images and I thought they explain the chakras in such a nice way because I'm a very visual person. So if you look at the one where it looks like the lady has feather dusters coming out of her, I just love this image because you can see at the bottom the crown chakra, the root chakra is looks like it's coming out of her butt, sorry guys, but that I like to think of as the plug that connects you to earth, that connects you to nature. Then the one that is coming out of her head is your crown chakra, and that is almost like the plug that plugs you into the divine, to source, to God, to connection, whatever you want to call it. And then the rest of the ones coming out of her are all still her chakras, but those will obviously plug into certain aspects of your life. Then, if you look at the two figures, you can see the female on the left and the male on the right. And if you look at the direction in which each chakra rotates, you'll see that it's opposite in the male and the female. And this reverts back to the feminine and masculine energies. So you can see in the female, our root chakra goes in an anti-clockwise, whereas our sacral, which is the one above it, goes in clockwise. Then the next one up, anti, next one clockwise, and so on and so forth. And when I go through each chakra area, I will explain to you how this manifests in life. And also, if you have unbalanced or overactive or underactive chakras, you can land up spinning your chakras in the wrong direction. So I will obviously go into that later down, but I want you to think of your chakra system as a set of gears, because like I said, each one rotates in a different, well, it goes clockwise, anti-clockwise, clockwise, anti-clockwise. So in order for your gears to run smoothly, you need to ensure that each chakra is going in the right direction. Because if you know gears, especially if you put 7 on top of each other, as soon as the one gear starts to go in a different direction, it's going to mess up the entire motion of the entire system. So I just thought that was such a beautiful way to think about the rotations of your chakra. And then obviously with the butt plug and the head plug, that was a nice way to show you how you are connected to earth and connected to the divine. And you'll also notice that your lower 3 chakras are more to do with the physical plane, where your higher 3 chakras are more to do with the cosmic energy plane. And then your heart, which is right in the middle, is basically the bridge that connects both. Alrighty. So the 7-year cycle. So I don't know if you guys know, but every 7 years, our body completely renews itself. All of our cells die and replace each other. So we essentially a brand new human every 7 years. And this is the same thing with our chakra cycle. When we're born, we go through 7-year cycles. So our first 7 years is basically developing our root chakra. Then the next 7 years is spent on developing our sacral. Obviously, it's not a conscious thing that we know about, but our experiences through life really help us to develop or block, depending on the life experiences that we have, our chakra areas. So I found this table and I just thought it was so interesting because it really explains how we go through these cycles. So the column on the left, I'm not pointing at my screen, but I'm pointing at the presentation. The column on the left are the 7-year cycles. So you'll see if you go across now on the top thing, I wish I could be in a classroom with you guys and point to the thing, but within each 7-year cycle, each year has a mini focus on the 7 chakras as well. So in your first year of life, your first 7 years, your theme of life is your root chakra. But in your first year, your root chakra develops. And then in your second year, your sacrum develops a bit in accordance to your root. Like I said, this is very confusing, but the more familiar you get with your chakra system, the more easy it is to, oh yeah, thanks, Tammy. Use my mouse cursor. Yeah, the more easier it will be to comprehend and to understand. So if you guys want to have a little look at what age you are now. And remember, so I'm 32 years old, but I'm in my 33rd year. So whatever age you are now, just +1 and go look at what it says, what part of life it says you should be in. And I thought mine was very interesting because mine for this year says maturation of the philosopher, which I feel like is what I'm doing because I'm really stepping into my purpose. I'm learning, I'm creating wisdom and really helping other people through that. And even I looked at my last year, it says attempts to combine your destination and work, which is where I was going through my growth phase of trying to figure out what I wanted to do, and which eventually took me to my realization of what my purpose was. So I just thought this was super, super interesting. Okay, now let's move on to how blockages develop in the chakras. So like I said before, there is nothing that we are separate from. We are all one. But our awareness of this oneness has been lost through generations as we began to solely rely only on the information reaching us through our physical senses and our rational mind. Thank you, modern times. Thank you, Western logic. So we have basically forgotten our divine origins and our connection. So this is one way how our blockages start to develop, because we're completely disconnected from anything that we cannot physically see or have proof of. Then chakras are most susceptible to feelings of fear. And this is a huge one, okay? When we stay in a state of fear, we stay in a state of contraction. Think about it. When you start to get fear, everything tenses up. You get, even your stomach tenses up. You just completely contract. And the same thing happens to your chakra energy systems. And when your chakras contract, it does not allow the flow of energy to flow. So that is a huge reason why we have a lot of blockages and disharmony in our chakras. Sorry if you can hear my dogs barking, they always go bad. Okay, another reason is that we look outside of ourselves for things. So in this materialistic world that we live in, we have made ourselves so dependent on gaining the love and recognition of others, on physical sensations and success and material belongings and possessions and all of that jazz. So these are the things that we can easily lose. Money, possessions, things like that. We've learned, especially now during lockdown and COVID, how quickly life can change and how easily we can lose things. And when this happens, the feeling of fear creeps back in. So it just is like a never-ending, perpetual cycle of fear, 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 and that really blocks us up. Okay, then another huge thing is that we change our lives to meet the expectations of others. So we hold back our own feelings because they don't fit into what others expect from us. And this either leads to exaggerated or blocked chakras, which I will show you in each chakra, the exaggeration. I'm sure you guys will eventually actually start to pick up what's exaggerated and what is blocked in terms of the signs of an unbalanced or blocked chakra. Okay, just admitting one more girl there. Okay, yin and yang reactions, yang the masculine, which is expression of energy. So I like to always just think of masculine and feminine as like a really power hungry male, that is your masculine energy when it's over. And then feminine is almost like a meek, intimidated little girl. And that's what happens when, sorry guys, there's some late comers. That's what happens when you have an over feminine vibe in your reactions and your energies. So like I said, I'll talk more about this when we dive into the individual chakras. But remember that these imbalances can carry down into our next carnations. So that is also one reason I think it's so imperative that we really look more deeply into our chakras and really put some intention and work into balancing them, because we can pass that on to our family, our kids and their kids and so on, because trauma is carried through 7 generations, but it can also carry on into our next lifetime if you guys believe in incarnation, reincarnation. So what link? Sorry, Megs. I get so carried away, I'll forget what I said. And then our parents did the best they could. So I always say this, don't look at your parents any differently, but our parents did the best that they could for us with the knowledge that they had and the experiences that they had. So when we are born into this world, we don't have the ability to like consciously shape our own life or even talk about our experiences to people. So we become completely dependent on the goodwill and care of our parents and other adults that we spend our younger years with. So blockages can really come from childhood traumas, issues, not even such hectic things, just maybe lack of love or lack of certain things, which I'll dive into later. But these are some of the main reasons why we can develop blockages in our chakra. Hey, Kayla, no problem. I'll post this on the group later if you want to catch up the beginning that you missed. Okay, then just a quick note for mommies and mommies to be, I mean, I just touched on this now with our parents did the best they could for us, but when you are carrying a child, that fetus really can only perceive the world through its mother. So this is where the foundations of our chakras begin. Now, in the womb and just as you give birth to your child, this is where the root chakra starts to form and solidify, because it's safety, it's security, it's feeling grounded. And if maybe through your pregnancy you aren't in the best mindset, or you have really traumatic experiences, and maybe after birth, if something happens that you cannot spend a lot of time having physical contact with your child, this can manifest into root chakra issues with your baby. So I know it's easier said than done, and I'm not a mother, so I can't even speak from experience, but really try to do the best that you can with your newborn baby and your kids, well, however old they may be, because it really can affect them down the line if you don't help them to develop their chakras in a healthy manner. Okay. It's also interesting, before I go on to the slide, to note that as a baby, from when you are conceived to the time you are born, we start as our crown chakra and we develop more down. And as we're born, then we obviously root ourselves and start with our root chakra and build up. So we basically, when we are being created and we grow in the mother's womb, we actually start from divine source, obviously, because that's when the union of everything happens and your soul now has a body to grow into, and then we develop our chakras going down. Okay, so there are 2 main ways that we can eliminate these blockages. Now, the first one is like the easy way out. And if you do just this, it's probably not going to do much, because like I always say, you have to do the deep inner work in order to create change. And change is not easy. It's uncomfortable. It can really bring up some tough stuff that you will have to work through. But without going through these things, you will not come out on the other end better for it. So just a little side note, if you guys do decide to delve deeper and do some chakra aligning work, it's not going to be all sunshine and rainbows. Okay, so the first way and the easiest way is exposing our chakras to energy vibrations. Now, these can be in the form of colors, gemstones, sounds, essential oils, the elements and in nature, and even like sounds and meditations. So as soon as frequencies flow into the chakras that are higher and more pure than the energies present in the chakra themselves, which is generally always, they help our chakras to dissolve blockages and dissolve faster. So it sounds woo-woo, but everything is energy, and just by surrounding yourself with these tools, such as crystals. I'm a huge crystal fan. I'm sure you guys have seen, I have crystals everywhere. I don't know if you can see my little alt in the back, but there must be like 50 crystals on there. They have energy too, and they can help to align your chakras if you get the correct ones for the correct chakra system. But obviously that goes so deep as well. That's something I had to leave out. I would love to put it in this workshop, but maybe we'll have to have another one. Okay, and then number 2 is your inner attitude and unconditional acceptance. So relaxation is the remedy for anxiety, cramping up, and blockages naturally, right? So as long as we, and this is why I spoke about putting in the work and like being open to change, as long as we deny an issue within ourselves, and as long as we judge ourselves and maybe condemn or reject part of ourselves, we will remain in a state of tension, which means our chakras can never be blocked or balanced, unblocked or balanced. So just really take note of that. If you are serious about making change, then you need to put in the uncomfortable work. Okay. Now, an attitude of unconditional acceptance requires a great deal of honesty and courage. You need to be ready to see yourself with all of your weaknesses and negative characteristics. You see why I say it's hard. And then to be able to accept what you see throughout this process with a willingness to say yes to everything that will help you on your healing journey and without judging yourself. Okay. It also means giving up your need for external validation. And this is also so hard because obviously we've been bred and brought up to believe that we need to get external validation for certain things, when at the end of the day, the only thing that really matters is you, how you feel about yourself, how you do things that make you happy. And yeah, it's all about you. Okay, so this includes things like taking on judgment to retain someone's love. This happens a lot in families. Or suppressing your emotions or desires to live up to what you think is expected of you by society, a group, or an ideal. All of these things take you further away from your true self. So you really need to be willing to let go of everything outside of you that makes you feel like you are accepted or doing the right thing, whatever it may be, and just look inwards. Oh, the 7 cycle diagram. Okay, Megs, I will send that to you. Don't you stress. Again, now this attitude of unbiased acceptance connects us to the attitude of our higher selves. And the higher self is that part of the soul which connects us to the divine being. So if we entrust ourselves to this higher guidance, it will lead us to the most balanced and align ourselves in the quickest and most direct way, allowing our blockages to dissolve in the most gentle way possible. So the more you fight yourself, the more you judge yourself, the more you base everything you do on external validation, the further away you move from being able to balance your chakras. When you learn to surrender, let go, and just fully accept and love yourself, things become so much easier, and your chakras actually start to kind of balance themselves out because you're not holding on to fear, judgment, any of those negative emotions. Okay. And when the going gets tough, just remember this: as soon as you learn to love and accept yourself completely, you will radiate these vibrations out through your aura and attract corresponding experiences from the outer world. This is the law of attraction in its finest, okay? This means that you really gain the love and recognition through others, which you had been afraid of losing. Deep, right? They in turn begin to appreciate you for the way that you truly are, and they may even admire you for having the courage to be yourself. Genuine love and unity become possible when you genuinely love and accept yourself. And this is something I've learned this year through and through and through and through. As soon as I decided to just be myself, not giving a shit or a fuck what anyone else thinks. I've attracted the most beautifully aligned people into my life. And I mean, this is all of you guys as well. So really make the effort to step more into your authenticity, to truly and fully love and accept yourself, because the people who are not going to accept the real version of you are not the people who are supposed to be in your life anyway. So don't be scared of losing these people. Okay, let's dive into the juicy bits. All right, so I just put a little diagram here so you can get a visual representation of all the chakras. But basically, you start at the bottom, you have your root, your sacral, your solar plexus, your heart, your throat, your third eye, and your crown chakra. So we'll start with the root, and this is your red energy. So the root chakra is the foundation on which all of the other chakras are built. And I already said when we are born, the first 7 years of our life is the root chakra development. So it's a no-brainer that it is the foundation on which everything else is built. So it is located at the base of our spine, and the color for this chakra is red. The element is earth or mother nature, and I think that's why I showed you the picture in the beginning where the butt plug went into the ground, because it's such an easy way to remember that it is our connection to earth, it is our connection to nature, it is our connection to everything on this earth. Okay, now the affirmation is just I am, and keywords to really try and explain what your root chakra is and pertains to are your basic needs. Survival, stability, comfort, and security. So when our root chakra is balanced, we feel grounded, we feel safe, we feel secure in our bodies and in our surroundings. So our root chakra connects us with the physical world, like I said. And just like the roots of a tree determine its life and strength, so too are the roots of the self, a strong determining factor in personal growth. So think about trees, the stronger the roots are, the stronger the tree is, the longer it's going to live, the more it's going to be able to grow, to expand out. All right, so I love to think of our root chakra as our roots that plant us into the earth. Now, our physical vitality depends on our nutrition and protection from the elements, along with a safe place to sleep and pure water to drink. So these are basically, it's like, I like to think, if you guys know Maslow's hierarchy of needs, this is the bottom one. It's just like, we need food, we need water, we need sunshine, we need a roof over our heads. This is your root chakra. This is what makes your root chakra feel stronger, feel more connected, feel more imbalanced. Not imbalanced. Okay, so this chakra is also defined by our core values. And if you guys have ever done a core values exercise, it's actually really eye-opening, because I feel like once you know your core values, everything else falls into place. It's easier to live your life in accordance to those, to set boundaries with people in your life around those core values. So if you haven't yet, I highly recommend after this, you go down and write down your top 5 core values. And you can just go look on Pinterest for core values. And our belief systems. I mean, obviously, as we grow, we perceive things, we are exposed to things according to our parents and our friends and our culture and our society. So we really develop beliefs, and sadly limiting beliefs according to what we're exposed to in our personal, unique life journey. Okay. Like I said in the beginning, this is also where your Kundalini energy lies. And for most of us, it lies dormant because we're so disconnected from our chakra system. And this really keeps us from reaching any kind of level of enlightenment, because yes, that's what I said. Because if that snake lays dormant, it's never going to be able to reach the crown chakra, which is where you find ultimate enlightenment. Wow, I cannot speak. Okay. Now, this chakra also influences our energy levels, our ability to focus, and our levels of fear and anger. I think that's quite deep, because if your root chakra is undeveloped and you live in fear, it's going to mess up the rest of your chakra energy system, because like I said, fear is like the biggest thing that blocks our chakra system. So your root chakra really is the foundation of everything else. Okay, so when your root chakra is in a state of balance, you experience good health and vitality, you feel physically fit, you feel grounded, you feel stable, you feel energetic, you are generally all around positive. You have a strong immune system, which is what we all need during this crazy time we're living in. And you obviously have feelings of being safe and secure. Now, when your root chakra is imbalanced, and this is where the feminine and masculine energies come in, like I said, think about the unbalanced versions. You're either going to have an overactive, which is your male energy, or underactive, which is your female energy. So when your chakra is overactive, you almost like do more to overcompensate for your lack in that area. Whereas when it is underactive, you almost shy away from it. So you will see this manifest in like minimizing what a balanced version of that chakra will be. Let me know if I'm making sense, guys. I'm trying to explain this in the like best way possible. So when your root chakra is unbalanced, it'll manifest in us being over or underweight. We can feel depressed, anxious, fear and insecurity. We tend to obsess over material possessions. We have weaker immune systems. We are susceptible to cravings and addiction. And we tend to become a bit lazy and demotivated. And we also feel this like underlying feeling of uncertainty and worry. So just imagine if you were stripped of the roof of your head, the food you eat, the water that you drink, and the sunshine that gives you like a reason to live. How would you feel? This is how this manifests as an unbalanced or blocked chakra. So I want you to try to think about this in each chakra as we go along, because it really is just a logical thing of thinking, well, if this is how I feel when my chakra is in balance, how would I feel if I had it stripped away from me? Or if I had too much of it, and you almost like take on the egotistical version of that chakra. Okay, so you'll see now with healing in every single chakra, there are commonalities. So the color therapy, and I mean, these are so straightforward. Obviously, with color therapy, for the root chakra, because it's red, eating red foods helps to balance the chakra. Wearing red clothes helps to balance the chakra. And then visualizing red energy during meditation can also help to balance the chakra. So I know I sent you guys all the link to my chakra aligning meditation. Sorry, I know it's very long, but if you can really sit and go through it, it's such a beautiful thing because it really works through the visualization aspect of balancing your chakra. Okay, so obviously as you go along, the color therapy will be the same for everything, just according to that color. Then sound is also such a powerful way to balance your chakra. So I don't know if any of you guys are into chanting, and it seems super weird until you try it. Don't bash it till you've tried it. I know hubby hates it. He feels so uncomfortable, but it actually really is such a powerful way to connect with your chakras. So the chant you can use for your root chakra is Lam, Lam, Lam. So you just basically sit there and extend the word Lam. Otherwise, you can listen to the musical note C. That is the frequency of which your root chakra vibrates. And then also because our root chakra is connected to Mother Nature, just listening to basically any sounds of nature can help to balance your root chakra. Okay, then others. Get outdoors and move your body. Movement really helps you to feel more confident and stable and secure in your own body. And by doing that outdoors, you are reinforcing your connection with Mother Nature. So that's a beautiful way to try balance and realign your chakra, your root chakra. Practicing grounding. I'm sure you guys have heard me speak about this before, but get outside, take your shoes off. I know it's a little bit shit during winter, but really just putting your feet in the grass, in the sand, whatever you have available to you, really helps you just to connect with nature. And it actually, trying to remember the science behind it now, but it like almost recalibrates our electrons or something like that. So it does have scientific proof behind how it works. So it really is a powerful and easy and free way for you to practice balancing your root chakra. And then obviously spending time in nature, journaling on your limiting beliefs. And I've actually put together a real nice freebie for you guys that I'll give you at the end of the class workshop. And then watching the sunrise or the sunset, because there is a lot of red that tends to happen in these things, and it's nature. So that is also just a beautiful way to reconnect with your root chakra. And then Hatha and Kundalini yoga, like I've spoken about Kundalini, it is hectic, but it is such a beautiful way to release that dormant serpent energy of Kundalini that lies within our root chakra. And then obviously practicing gratitude in all of these things. And a nice way to practice gratitude per chakra is to really just think what you're grateful for that you have within these chakra energy systems. So I'm grateful that I have a roof over my head. I'm grateful that I have access to beautiful foods and I can nourish my body with all the foods that I love and I know are good for me. So really just adjusting your gratitude to the certain energy system that you maybe need to work a little bit more on. Okay, next is the orange energy and the sacral chakra. So this is literally located 3 fingers below your belly button. The color is orange. The element is water and the moon energy. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about this as we go on, because I think it's such a beautiful time, the full moon, to do any sacral chakra practices. And then the affirmation is I feel, because this really has to do with our emotions, our sensuality, our sexuality. So keywords are creativity, emotion, sexuality, fertility, and relationships. And when our sacral chakra is balanced, we really feel inspired, we feel creative, and we have the ability to give and receive pleasure. So that's a way to know if your sacral chakra is in balance. Then this is your center of unfiltered primordial emotions, sexual energies, and creativity. The energy of creation comes from the chakra, whether it is the creation of life or the creation of projects, ideas, whatever it may be. It is basically just the creation of anything that comes from you. And this is also the chakra of abundance. So when we tap into our sacral chakra energy, your success becomes inevitable because we really tap into that energy of abundance. Okay, obviously the chakra also governs our fertility. So I didn't have enough time. I knew we wouldn't have enough time to go into the health aspects and how it manifests in like health issues. But if you're struggling with fertility, there could be a very high chance that your sacral chakra is blocked or unbalanced. Okay, and then our emotions are also governed by this chakra. So if you've been a victim to any form of verbal, sexual, physical abuse, this can really manifest in your sacral chakra. So if that is something that you have been unfortunately a victim of, then you should already know that you probably need to do some work on your sacral chakra. And then this is also where your intuition lies. So they don't say trust your gut for no reason. So when your sacral chakra is flowing and in a beautiful alignment, your intuition really amps up a level. Okay, so how do we know when our sacral chakra is balanced? We have mastered our emotions. This takes a lot of work, guys. This is something that I focus a lot on in Divinely Aligned. We have an ability to feel pleasure. We have a healthy sexual appetite. We feel supported. We have healthy boundaries. We live in flow. We feel energetic and inspired. We are expressive both creatively and sexually. We have compassion and we find forgiveness a lot easier. And we are filled with awe and enthusiasm for all things in life. So let's think about what happens when it's unbalanced. Obviously, you can be susceptible to erratic mood swings or bursts of anger. Emotional numbness would be like the feminine side of your unbalanced chakra, because you almost retract yourself and cut yourself off because you are afraid of being hurt. This can also manifest in low libido or overactive sex drive. Low libido will obviously be the feminine side, whereas overactive will be the masculine. So you can start to pick up how you can tell which, whether your chakra is overactive or blocked or underactive. And then this can also manifest in addictions, especially sexual addictions. So whether it's porn, like fantasies, whatever it may be, this can also be a sign of a overactive or overbearing sacral chakra. Okay, then also being disconnected from the divine feminine, issues with control and power, guilt and jealousy, and relationship and money issues. So, I mean, like I said, it is imperative to really try and balance all of your chakras, because you will see as we go along how much our energy systems and our chakras really govern in our lives. Okay, so like I said, the healing therapy, obviously now everything orange. The sound or the chant is VAM, and the note is D. But also because the element is water, listening to any type of water noises can really help. So whether it's running water, rain, whatever it may be, that can really help. And then other options is sacred bathing. Obviously, this is bringing in the element of the water, and there's no right or wrong way to have a sacred bath. Whatever feels right to you, as long as you are lying in that bath and really just focusing on your sacral chakra, it's almost like a purification of whatever you need to release and let go of. Then honoring your creativity. This is such a big one, and I'm sure you guys have seen I started Paint by Numbers. I'm actually going to start painting not by numbers, by myself. And I just found this such a beautiful way to tap into my creativity, but it's different for everyone. So whether it's singing, writing, painting, dancing, whatever you find to be your creative outlet, start to do more of that, because that will really help to unblock and let your creative and sacral energy flow. And then healing your mother wound. This is a whole nother thing that I can go into, but if you have issues with your mom, conscious or subconscious, this can really manifest in your sacral chakra. Then moving your hips and dancing. Your emotions are stored in your hips. So by moving your hips and dancing, I don't know if you saw I'm doing that Shakti warrior dance classes, those are amazing. It just helps to rid yourself of dormant emotions and stuck emotions and really just get your sacral energy flowing. Obviously yoga, anything hip opening. And then getting into outdoor waters, because the element is water, it is so purifying to swim in the ocean, swim in a river, swim in a dam. Even just putting your feet and your hands into natural waters can really be healing for the sacral chakra. And then Tantra yoga, you can look up more on that. And then obviously gratitude. But now in terms of I'm so grateful, I have creative energy that I allow to flow through me. I am fertile, I am sexual, I'm sensual. I'm so grateful for all of these things. So that is your sacral. Then we move on to your yellow energy and the solar plexus chakra. Now, this solar plexus chakra is where your personal power and your confidence can shine, all right? So just like the sacral is 3 fingers below your belly button, your solar plexus is 3 fingers above your belly button, and the color is yellow. The element is fire and the sun energy. So you can really tell this is more of a masculine energy vibe. The affirmation is I do. And the keywords here are personal power, self-esteem, confidence, mental clarity, all the things that make you feel amazing, confident. And when your solar plexus is in balance, we feel confident, courageous, and powerful. So this is a really, I think a lot of people have blocked or unbalanced solar plexus chakras because a lot of us lack in confidence and self-esteem. So this is really something I think everyone can do a little bit of work on. So the center regulates your ability to digest life, digest food, stand in your personal power, establish healthy boundaries. That's an important one. Recognize your magnificence and live your life with self-confidence. Now, when your solar plexus chakra is strong, you can really achieve anything you put your mind to. So if this is not a reason in itself enough to make you want to balance your solar plexus, then I'm out. It also brings us mental clarity and the ability to see life from a greater perspective. And perspective is everything, guys. once you can zoom up and zoom out and see everything for the bigger picture that it is, your whole life changes. Okay. And then obviously, the more confident we feel, the more we can experience life with a sense of joy, optimism, and a positive attitude. So if you are feeling, I just saw a typo there. Well, sorry, guys. If you are feeling less confident than you know you can be, this is going to show up in your life because you're not going to experience life as joyfully and as positively as possible. Okay. And in recognizing that confidence comes from within, I hope you all know that, we stop the need for external validation, touching on that point again, and see that the only approval we really need in our entire lives is our own. There's such a freeing thing when you learn that nothing else matters besides your own approval. Then confidence just naturally comes to you. Okay, when we lack confidence and self-esteem, we are more prone to feelings of depression and jealousy. That is a no-brainer. Okay, so obviously when our solar plexus is balanced, we feel confident, self-disciplined, and self-motivated. Our self-worth, personal power, and identity is strong. We feel more responsible and reliable, which is amazing. And we take responsibility for our decisions. Let that one sink in. A lot of us do not take responsibility for our own decisions, but when you do, it really builds your power, your self-power, and your confidence. It also, another balance sign is improved digestion or just good digestion, and we feel a sense of peace with life. Obviously, now when we move into unbalanced, low self-esteem, no-brainer, low confidence, no-brainer, no sense of purpose. If you are not confident in your life and in what you are doing, you're obviously going to have a very little sense of purpose. You will feel unmotivated. You might feel anger and anxiety, which further will block up all your chakra systems. You can feel insecure. This is obviously the feminine side. Low metabolism, fatigue, poor digestion. You can even have that victim mentality. And I actually sent out a mail. I don't know if you guys are on my mail. You must be on my mailing list unless you signed up for the workshop yesterday or today. I sent out a mailer on victim mentality. And also in neediness. So yeah, if you really want to be more independent, feel more confident, have better self-esteem, work on your solar plexus chakra. Now, again, healing therapy, color therapy, anything yellow, eating yellow foods, wearing yellow clothes, visualizing yellow energy. And then the chant is Ram and the musical note is E. And other ways you can do this is to spend time around fire or meditate with a candle, because the element is fire. Just surrounding yourself with the energy of fire can really help to ignite your solar plexus chakra. Start stepping more into your authenticity. This will really help. And this also sounds, is a lot easier said than done. But just start to practice it in small ways, whether it's with your friends or your partner. Just really step into your true authentic self, and you'll start to see how people are actually more attracted to you. And the ones who aren't will exit your life because they shouldn't be in your life in the first place. And then start doing little things that'll boost your confidence. So whether it's like, I don't know, if you're too scared to phone and make appointments, phone and make an appointment. If you are too scared to speak up in a meeting at work, speak up in a meeting at work. Doing these things is really going to help you to make you realize that it's not that bad, firstly, and it's going to build your confidence. And then sunbathing, obviously, because the element is fire and sun, getting sunshine can really just help to naturally balance your solar plexus chakra. And then there is a yoga called Karma Yoga. I'm not going to go into any of these. You can look them up if it is something that interests you, but that is something that can help. And then obviously gratitude again in terms of your solar plexus chakra. Okay, now we move to the heart chakra, which literally is right in the middle of your energy system, and it connects your upper chakras with your lower chakras. So without our heart chakra being in balance, literally everything else is doomed. And I don't want to sound too negative about that, but if your heart chakra is balanced, it really helps you to balance and align the rest of them, because it's almost like the communicator between the lower and upper chakras. And if it's out of balance, we're going to be playing a game of broken telephone, and we know how that always lands up, right? So like I said, the heart is the bridge between your lower 3 chakras and your upper 3 chakras. And it's all about connecting the physical, which is our butt plug that goes into the earth, and the divine, which is our brain plug that goes into the cosmic divine. It also connects us with kindness, with love, with compassion, with tolerance, patience, understanding, and who we truly are. And let's be honest, if everyone had a balanced heart chakra, the world would be a much better place. Okay, so when your heart chakra is strong, you start to gain a deeper understanding of people and their challenges as well as your own, which is a superpower in itself. And this also offers you the opportunity to stop judging yourself and others, and instead rather just observe. When you can stop judging and observe situations, you actually gain such a better perspective of things, and you learn more, and you stop with all the negative emotions that may pop up, because you're not judging anymore. You're just observing the situation for what it is. It's so freeing when you realize that you can't control people and situations. So observing is like the perfect antidote to releasing this thought of having control. Well, it is the antidote for control. And then observing, like I said, really helps you to see a situation for what it really is and step away from anything that is not in alignment with your personal truth. When you're observing instead of judging and reacting, you can actually see and suss out if the situation is something that is worth your energy, worth your time. Okay, so balanced heart chakra, you are friendly, compassionate, empathetic, nurturing, connected to the people in your life, open to love, peace, joy, and happiness, self-love and acceptance. You become a channel for divine love and a healing energy for others. I don't know if you've ever been around someone who just naturally emanates love, compassion, empathy. They almost just, you feel healed just being in their presence. And when your heart chakra is balanced and radiating, you really put your heart into every single thing that you do. So when your heart chakra is unbalanced, this is when you start to feel or become or make yourself, remember everything in life is a decision, isolated. We become more selfish. We can be easily heartbroken. We can fall into sadness or hate and rejection. This can also manifest in our health in heart ailments and respiratory issues. It can cause us to be overly defensive. We can also create a fear of intimacy or being hurt or rejected. And we can also become codependent on friends, family, partners, whatever it may be, or land up staying in unhealthy relationships that do not serve our highest good. And obviously the judgmental thing, like I mentioned a million times before. So color therapy, everything green. The chant is yum. The note is F. And gratitude is, I think, the most beautiful way to really work on balancing your heart chakra, because when you are grateful for things, love just honestly flows from you. So practicing gratitude and obviously more self-acceptance, practicing self-care, it's so important. Just spending time on yourself, by yourself, doing the things that bring you joy. It doesn't matter what it is, do it. Make time for it. Make yourself a priority. And then tell your people that you love them. It's such an easy way to open your heart chakra. Journaling, breath work, because the element is air of the heart. Focusing on your breath is a beautiful way to connect with your heart and to rebalance and get it flowing. Then obviously getting some fresh air, appreciating the beauty around you. Honestly, just go outside and take a walk in nature. If you have a park or you can go on a hike, being in nature really connects you to your heart chakra. Then listening to the wind, because obviously air, wind. And then buying pink flowers. So the color for the heart chakra is obviously green and pink. Did I go through don't think I went through the things. Sorry, guys. But obviously the color is green. It can also be pink. So by buying pink flowers, it's just an immediate nice way to open up your heart chakra and spoil yourself, which is self-care, I guess. All right. Then pastel blue energy and the throat chakra. So now we are moving into the more ethereal, like woo-woo parts of ourselves and our chakra systems. But throat chakra is something that I have had to do a lot of work on. And it has brought me so much more abundance, confidence, success. So this is something, if you are struggling with, I really recommend that you do some work on. And I don't know if you've realized by now, but all of our chakras almost kind of overlap in some ways or another. So like by me working on my throat chakra, it's really helped me with my solar plexus chakra, because it's really helped with my confidence as well. So like I said, this is why we need all of our wheels to be turning in the right direction and at their optimum energy. Okay, so throat chakra located in the throat and neck area. The color is like a pastely blue. The element is ether, so it's basically the last earthly element, because it's the sky, before we go out into the divine. The keywords are communication, being expressive, truth, integrity, independence, and high wisdom. And you'll know that your throat chakra is balanced when you are truthful about everything, you are loyal to your core, and dedication to people in your life comes with ease. And you're confident in speaking. So this is the center of the human capacity of expression, communication and inspiration. And it really helps us to connect firstly with people, and it helps us to connect with the divine. It also allows us to express ourselves fully, to speak and live our truth, which is so, so, so important. And this results in feelings of freedom and acceptance of ourselves. Remember, communication is not just the action of speech, but the ability to truly listen and hear what others have to say. So it works both ways. Yes, your throat chakra is the ability to express yourself authentically and truthfully, but it is also the ability to actually listen to other people actively, because I'm pretty sure you'll find that most of the time someone's talking to you, you're not listening to what they're saying, you're thinking about what you're going to say next. So practicing active listening can also help to strengthen your throat chakra. This is also about the words we speak to ourselves, guys. So pay attention to that negative Nancy that's in your head all the time, because that can really block our throat chakra. And then when we tap into the powers of our throat chakra, we allow ourselves the opportunity to connect with our people and our guides. So it's a beautiful way to just connect to everything and everyone around us. So obviously when your throat chakra is balanced, you are able to express your truth with ease. You have great listening skills, you have good communication, you are more decisive because you're not worried about what other people think, and you're not scared to voice your own truth and opinion. Okay, you're more authentic, you're true to yourself, you're centered, you have a high level of integrity, you speak with clarity and confidence, and you're not swayed or manipulated easily by others' opinions, words, thoughts, actions, whatever it may be. So when your throat chakra is unbalanced, this can manifest in having trouble in expressing yourself, trouble listening to others, unable to voice your opinions clearly. You might even have a sore throat. I think it was Kayla that I spoke to the other day that was saying she hopes it's just a blocked chakra. It can lead to indecisiveness. It can lead to dishonesty, impatience, gossip, which is the worst thing ever on this planet. Even being loud. This obviously manifests on like an overbearing overcompensation for your blocked chakra, throat chakra. And then you can also be one of those people who interrupt or is appropriate in situations. Okay, that's obviously also on the masculine side of your unbalanced chakra. So color healing therapy, it's eating blue foods, wearing blue clothes, and visualizing blue light. The chant is hum, the note is A. And other ways that you can start to try balance your throat chakra is by meditating outside, anything under the sky, because obviously the ether is the element and the color is blue. So watching the clouds pass by, sitting outside, even just listening to the birds chirping because they fly around in the sky. Singing or chanting, this is where this really comes into a powerful practice because it's our throat chakra and sound. So if you can, I'm the first person who you will see in traffic singing at the top of my lungs to one of my favorite songs that comes on the radio. So singing or chanting can really help open that throat chakra. Doing neck rolls, just opening the actual physical but area where your throat chakra lies. Practice active listening, like I said, avoiding gossip, lies, and dishonesty is a big one. There's a thing called mantra yoga, which is obviously when you do yoga and say mantras as you go. And affirmations is really a big one for your throat chakra, because obviously you are speaking the word. So you can either say affirmations that relate to your throat chakra, but you can also just say affirmations that relate to anything in life. Shame I can hear my doggies crying outside my door. Okay, let's move on to the second last chakra. This is the indigo energy and the third eye chakra, and this is basically your connection to your inner knowing. This is when you can see, and that sounds so random, but I'll explain it as I go along. But deep within the seat of your consciousness is a place where all is known. So like I said in the beginning, we are all connected, and our soul is all knowing. We have lived many lives on this earth. We have had many experiences. We have a greater perspective of what our mission is on this earth, but we lose that when we are born into our human form. So by connecting to your third eye, this is where you can reconnect to that inner knowing, that inner knowledge. And I don't know if you guys have heard of the Akashic records, but this is also where you can access those too. Okay, so the color is indigo. Obviously the location is here on your forehead in between your eyebrows. The element is light or transcendence. The affirmation is I see. And keywords are being a channel, being charismatic. Intuition is a strong one here. Telepathy and holistic thinking. And we know our third eye is balanced when our intuition is strong and we have a deep sense of clarity and inner knowing. So like I said, your third eye is the place of our intuition and your ability to see the unseen, to know the unknown, to feel the intangible and connect with the invisible world of spirit. It is, so intuition, I'm sure you guys know what intuition is if you follow me at all, or you listen to my podcast, but intuition is your ability to have direct access to the truth. And this is independent of any type of logical or reasoning processes. So this is just like that inner knowing. And like with everything, practice makes perfect. So if you think you don't have intuition or you're very out of touch with your intuition, just start to practice by small things. I think we did a podcast episode on intuition. So you guys can go listen to that one. That gives you a lot of tips on how to connect with your intuition. But it really is a superpower, and the more you practice it, the stronger it gets, and it really just helps you in life to make the right decisions, have a better direction in life. Not a better direction, but have better direction. And then I want you guys to remember that everyone is intuitive. Like I said in the beginning, one of the misconceptions is that you have to be all woo-woo, witchy, clairvoyant, whatever it may be, to connect with your chakras. But when you connect to your chakras, these superpowers get more powerful. So regardless of whether you are conscious of it or not, much of what you do on a daily basis is based on feelings and thoughts, right? And these all link back to your intuition. So like I said, remember, your third eye will develop over time. It's neither necessary or advisable to try and move your psychic senses along too quickly. And I'm not saying that we all have psychic senses. We all just have superpowers that we can unleash when we really tap into this part of ourselves. Yeah, and the reason that you don't want to try like force the development of your third eye is because our mental state is very closely connected to our intuitive nature. So by allowing the development of our third eye to develop and unfold more naturally, we're not forcing things along and maybe like causing some damage that's going to affect our mental state as well. Okay, so balanced third eye, you will be intuitive, imaginative, perceptive, open-minded, insightful. You'll have a sense of clarity. You'll feel mentally strong. You'll embrace truth and change, which is amazing, which you need for any transformative journey you're going to go on. You'll feel more spiritually aligned. You'll possess inner wisdom. You'll feel connected to your inner knowing, and you will manifest a lot more easily. So I feel like that's a really good reason to work on your third eye chakra. Then unbalance obviously manifests in a lack of intuition. You become unimaginative. You are ruled by reason and intellect. I don't know if you've ever met someone who's so stuck in the intellect way of things, they've almost become such an asshole because they do not believe in anything besides what they can like physically see. You may feel confused, unable to focus, feel closed-minded, have nightmares and headaches, or a lack of concentration. You also might find it difficult to meditate or quiet your mind, and you might be dominated by material desires and physical needs because you're so disconnected from the woo-woo side of things. Okay, so healing again, anything dark blue foods, dark blue clothing, dark blue energy, or even I think it's indigo, the color. So I mean, dark blue is like blueberries and stuff. Then the chant is Om. I'm sure you guys all know about Om, and the note is A. Other ways you can strengthen your third eye chakra are listening to bells or chimes. Very interesting. Stargazing, because obviously this just helps to show you how expansive the universe is, and that we cannot just be on this world for the purpose of getting a job, paying the bills, and dying. Okay. Taking a break from technology. Technology really takes us away from our woo-woo witchy side and our connection to source, our connection to divine. So taking a break from technology is a really good way to strengthen your third eye. Getting enough sleep, opening your mind to new perspectives and viewpoints and information. Doing dream work. If you are someone who has vivid dreams, like really journal about it and start to look up what these dreams mean, because our dreams are a subconscious way of like refiling the things that go on throughout our day, and they can really help to give us signs, give us clarification on certain things. So dream work's a really cool one. And then there are two types of yoga, Jnana yoga and Yantra yoga, which you can look into. And then another cool way is when you're meditating to look up at your third eye. So when your eyes are closed, it's almost like squinting and looking up to the area of where your third eye will be. And that immediately connects you with your third eye. So that's just a cool way that you can practice. Alrighty, then the last one, the crown chakra. This is the plug that plugs you in to the divine. So this taps us into being a miracle worker, aligned with the divine consciousness. So obviously the location is the crown of the head and all around. It's literally like our opening. You can just imagine this beautiful golden, white, violet lights like spewing out. This will happen if your crown chakra is in harmony and balance. Now the element is cosmic or thought. The affirmation is I know, and keywords are higher consciousness, open to the divine and knowing. And you'll know that, and let me tell you one thing now, there are not many people with a strong balanced crown chakra. Obviously now with the huge consciousness shift in the world, people becoming more spiritual and connected, a lot more people are working on balancing their crown chakra. But when you reach like perfect alignment and energy flow within your crown chakra, this is when you reach nirvana. So it is very rare to come along, but there are lots of things you can do to strengthen it. And the more you are connected to your crown chakra, the more conscious you become, the more wise you become, the more you just have this deeper inner sense of knowing. Okay, so this is the area obviously that helps us to connect to the divine. This is where we feel at home, because like I said in the beginning, when we are conceived, we start from the crown chakra and build our chakras down as we develop. This is where we all began and where we will all return. Our crown chakra, our connection, the divine is where our souls reconnect and all become one. I get goosebumps just thinking about that. Okay. So if we have a strong and open crown, we become one with the universe, basically. When this chakra unfolds, and this is a beautiful thing about doing crown chakra work, any blockages remaining in the other 6 chakras dissolve and their energies begin to vibrate at the highest possible frequencies. So just like the root chakra is the base and the foundation for healthy chakras as we go up, the crown chakra can really help us to dissolve any blockages or whatever it may be that's like messing up the rest of our chakra energies. Okay, so when you are truly connected and in alignment with your crown chakra, you will experience the greatest emptiness. And this sounds so weird, but this emptiness is identical with the greatest abundance, for it is life in its purest essence. And my favorite saying, I've got it tattooed on my arm: as above, so below, as within, so without, as the universe, so the soul. And that just basically sums up like everything is nothing and nothing is everything. Okay, and like I said, this is what the Buddhists refer to as nirvana. So when you have a balanced crown chakra, lucid dreaming is a big one. You feel spiritual, you feel enlightened, you are more trusting, and not just of people, but trusting that the universe has got your back, that your intuition knows what it's talking about. You feel more peaceful, you feel connected to a higher power, you feel connected to yourself. And you have this feeling of divine inner peace, divine outer peace. Nothing can break you, nothing can shake you. You have this inner wisdom and you are connected to your soul's purpose, which is the most beautiful part of it all. So obviously now if your crown chakra is unbalanced, you become cynical and closed-minded. You feel disconnected from yourself and the higher powers. You have a lack of faith and a lack of purpose. You become frustrated with life, which is like a no-brainer because you literally have no direction. And like the next point, you have no sense of purpose or meaning. You also start to become critical of other spiritual beliefs, and you have a fear of death, which if you think about it makes so much sense if your crown chakra is blocked, because there's nothing to fear in death. We become reunited with the oneness of everything. So if you have a really blocked crown chakra, fear of death can be a really big sign that you need to do some crown chakra work. And then you feel separated from abundance and wholeness. So with healing, you can eat purple, wear purple, visualize purple, or even a golden white light. And then with the sound, this is where it's a little bit different. Silence, just silence, and really listening, whether it's listening to the sounds around you or trying to listen to your inner guides or your inner wisdom or your inner knowing. Just listening can really help you connect to your crown chakra. And then I actually read in my book I was reading this morning that one of the ways you can balance your crown chakra is to spend time alone on the top of a mountain, because when you are on the peak of a mountain, your earthly problems are like so far below you. It's just symbolic. I love it. And you're closer to the heavens and the divine. So I love, just if you have the opportunity to go on a hike or like find yourself on top of a mountain, just spend some time alone and maybe even do a crown chakra visualization or meditation, because it's such a powerful area to be able to do this. Then obviously meditation and contemplation. Fasting is also a good one because we disconnect ourselves from physical things on this planet. And one of the things we really obsess about, especially if we have a weak root chakra, is eating. And when you fast, you have more clarity and focus. So that can really help you connect with your crown chakra. I'm not saying don't eat for weeks, just like maybe try one day. Sound healing is also a good one. You can YouTube and Google sound healing. And then really start to expand your mind with books and podcasts. The more you learn, the more you know, the more wise you are, the more connected you are with your inner knowing and your inner knowledge. So really just keep on learning, keep on growing, keep on expanding. Okay, so that's the 7 chakras. I hope you guys learned a bit. But I just wanted to touch on a note on cleansing and activating your chakras, because like I said in the beginning, change and transformation is not easy, and it might present its difficulties. No, it definitely will present its difficulties. So I just wanted to remind you guys that opening the chakras is a journey towards the self, a journey into life. Sorry, I can't see my slide here. And towards the divine. It is a holistic way of unfolding all the potential that you have as a human being. Okay, if that is not a reason enough to look more into your chakras and realign them, I don't know what is. So basically, the positive effects of chakra therapy will only be of duration when they accompany a process of growth and maturation. So in order to achieve this, it is advisable to consider the following. Number one, I always say, you do you, boo. Okay, so everything I've mentioned, choose therapies that resonate with you the most and start to put them into a regular daily practice, because without regular work, you will not experience any change, any transformation, any growth, any expansion. Number two is that when blockages start to dissolve, you may relive the issues that created these blockages. Let it be. It's going to be uncomfortable, but you need to relive these in order to let them go. And remember to not look at these things with judgment. Number three is to pay attention to your heart chakra. Like I said, your heart chakra connects the upper and the lower. And an open heart chakra allows for other centers to open. So I think your most important lessons in terms of chakras is that if one chakra is not in balance, it's probably going to reflect in the rest of the chakras. So the heart is so important in order to have that communication between the upper and lower. The roots is so important to build the foundation of your chakras going up. And the crown is so important to like dissolve whatever remaining blockages that you have in your chakra system. And then the last one is be sure to integrate all the experiences that come to you through the gradual opening of your chakras into everyday life. Don't reject anything, be open and understanding. So just remember, you cannot work through things if there are certain things that you push to the side or pretend that are not there. You have to work through everything in order to balance these chakras and just all around heal yourself. Okay, so let me just hop back on the video call here. Where are you guys? Oh, there we go. How do I make this bigger? Stop share. There we go. Okay, I'm back. Can you guys still see me? Okay. All right, guys. So that is everything that I could put together. And this is probably my longest workshop ever. I'm sorry, guys. I did not realize it was going to take this long. But you see what I mean? There's so much that I left out, and there's so much more that goes into chakras. So if this is something that has really like resonated with you, or you feel like you need to work more on, stay a little bit longer, because that has something to do with my exciting announcement. But I've also put together an amazing little freebie for you that I'm going to see. I'll see if I can send here. I just want to give me a second. My computer. So I've put together a little chakra workbook that you guys can use. And basically what it has is journal prompts to work through each chakra and affirmations that you can say per chakra. So I just thought it'll be a nice little additional thing for you guys to use afterwards. So you can download it. I've just uploaded it there in the chat. Pleasure nods. And then time for my exciting announcement. So I've been working super hard on my next program, which is everything to do with the chakras, and it is called Deeply Rooted. So I'm launching to you guys first and foremost because obviously you guys are the ones that show interest in your chakras. So this is something that I feel like would be so beautifully suited to all of you. And like I said, if there's anything that really stood out and you really do feel like you have a lot of work to do, this program is going to be revolutionary and change your entire life. So it is basically a 7-week program where we will be working through each chakra on a more deeper level. We will be working on gaining a deeper insight into understanding your chakras, understanding them on your own personal level, seeing where you may be blocked, seeing the issues that you may be dealing with in terms of each chakra. And then I will also be giving you a whole bunch of tools that you can use to work on, realign, balance these chakras. And that is besides coaching, obviously, and the content that you will get in the back end of the course. There'll be meditations. Sorry, just put a little note just so I didn't forget everything. I want to give you guys every bit of information. Meditations, color therapy, gemstones, scents, and aromatherapy, breath work, sound therapy, yoga moves and physical movements, all of the things that you can really use in a more hands-on way to help with aligning your chakras. Because remember in the beginning of the workshop, I said there were 2 ways that you can do it, either through these tools like gemstones, essential oils, meditations, whatever it may be, and then obviously the deep inner work that you have to put active energy and do to create this lasting transformation and change. There'll obviously also be workbooks with deep inner work and so much more. There will be group healing calls every week to cover what we've gone through, which will also be a group Q&A session, but then also I will take you through a healing per each chakra. Lol, language is going out the door now. But I just wanted to announce to you guys first, I'm so super excited about this course. So if you guys are interested, I'm actually going to drop the link here. You can sign up to the waiting list. I'm only going to be holding space for 10 gorgeous goddesses. So obviously it is at I want to say first come, first serve, but if you can get on that wait list and book your clarity call with me, then we can see if this is the right fit for you and get you signed up. So yay, I'm excited. I hope you guys enjoyed the workshop. Thank you again for showing up. It really has been amazing to see how many people were here. And I'm so sorry it went so long, but like I said, there's so much you can learn about the chakras. I've literally just touched the tip of the iceberg, but I really hope that you guys did get some value and you learned some things about your chakra system that you maybe didn't know. It's been amazing to share space with you guys and really just open up your mind to your chakra systems and how you can really use this to heal your life in all elements, mind, body, soul. And yeah, I'm not going to take up too much of your evening. So thank you all so much. And I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your evening. Thank you. I'm looking at all your comments now. Yeah, guys, sending so much love and light. Have a very beautiful evening and rest of your week and weekend. Stay safe, guys. Times are crazy and this 3rd wave is crazily insane. And coming from someone who lost my dad due to it, I would really just love for you guys to keep safe because it is a heartbreaking thing that is happening right now. So keep safe. I love you all and I will catch you soon.